Alright, hey, I am finally back for another video. It's been almost a year, but I realized, hey, I have 300 subscribers. I should actually do something with that. So, here I am. So, I've got my dad here. Say hi.
Hi.
How old are you?
That's confidential information. I'm 50.
Yeah, so we've got the elderly appeal here.
Yeah. Be careful.
Yeah.
They're nice.
And yeah, he is going to react to some Jojo characters. He's going to look at them and he's going to try to guess their names, personalities, and their powers.
All right.
And yeah, I've got a few, and he wanted to keep this short, so it's not going to be every character in the series like some of these videos, but yeah, let's get started. So this is our first character.
Okay. This guy, I think he's called the Gentleman. His powers are wearing silly hats, eating finger sandwiches. He can also instantly detect the vintage and quality of wine just by sniffing it. Although I guess that's not really a superpower. He really seems to have a thing for these sandwiches. They're showing up a lot. Maybe his ability is he can throw those sandwiches. They all seem to be sort of diamond-shaped or triangular. Maybe he uses them as weapons to impale people. And then in this bottom picture down here, yep, it looks like he's just flung a sandwich into the ground with stone-shattering force. And also his jacket has turned into a tulip or a flower of some kind. All right, yeah. So, yeah.
Alright, so this guy's real name is Will Zeppeli. He's Italian. So, yeah, despite being named after a bread store, he's actually pretty strong. He taught Jonathan, the first Jojo, he taught him how to use the ripple. So he can channel the power of sunlight to be super strong and break stones without hurting this frog.
What's with the sandwiches?
He just eats sandwiches.
Those don't look like paninis, though. Those look like English tea sandwiches kind of things. Like watercress or something. Yeah. Also, that hat. He looks English. That hat. I don't know what to say about the hat.
Yeah, the hat is... And he's got a different one in every one of these.
Yeah, well, that's why I said his power was, wearing...
Like, I think they only gave him one hat in the anime, but they gave him a couple different ones in the manga, and I like that because he's styling. He doesn't just have one cool hat, he's got a bunch of cool hats.
Oh, and here he's saying, I am,
Zeppeli.
Zeppeli. You cannot defeat the Stone Mask with bravery alone. You must have a sandwich. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
So now on to the next character. This is our last character from part 1. This guy.
Okay, these are all the same person?
Yeah. 2 of these are from part 2 when he's an old guy.
I see.
50 years later.
Right. Wow. Well, I guess when he was younger, he dyed his hair green. Looks like he used a lot of product. It was alternately spiky and then sort of fluffy curly.
Yeah.
And then when he aged, apparently he became a Lego character and just purchased Snap-on hair. And he's got a nifty pilgrim hat. Apparently hats are a big thing in this setting.
I never thought about that, but a lot of the characters have hats. You're right.
And not just any hats, son. They have... hats that make a statement.
Yeah.
Hats that distinguish them from even your normal hat-wearing public, which is, probably a little out there anyway.
Okay, so what do you think his name is?
Okay, well, I can see from this thought bubble here, it can't be that long unless the person really changed the lettering up. So I'm going to say, Stinky. Yeah.
Stinky.
Stinky. Yeah. Wait, is this the one where they're named after bands?
Yeah, this is the one, but let's just go with Stinky.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you think his powers are?
Well, looks like he's trying to make shadow puppets in that one. and looks like he's counting on his fingers. And this other one, in this third one, it looks like he doesn't have a left hand, but I suppose that's just a really badly made cast.
Yeah.
What powers does he have? He's really not doing anything but just standing there, looking around. All right, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say he has the power to teleport himself from one place to another.
All right, so you actually have heard and mocked this character's name before.
Mm-hmm.
This is Robert E.O. Speedwagon.
Okay.
This is what Speedwagon looks like, and that's why I covered up his name.
Oh, in which case...
Speedwagon withdraws coolly.
Well, in that case, I'm going to guess it's time for him to fly, and maybe he actually has flying powers or something like that.
Yeah, so it's a trap. He doesn't actually have any powers. All he can do is he's got this hat, and it's got a metal blade on it, but it never actually does anything.
Oh, kind of like Odd Job from James Bond.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
well, he didn't look like he was really doing a lot.
Yeah, so he was like a gang leader in London on the worst place in London, Ogre Street. Then Jonathan met him and they fought and he decided, hey, I'm a good guy now. So he goes with Jonathan to fight Dio, but he doesn't really do much of anything because he can't use the ripple, he just has his hat. And then eventually he moves to America and he finds oil, and so in part 2, 50 years later, he's a Texas oil baron.
Huh, that's fascinating because this whole thing started in like around 1630, right?
1880s, actually.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I'm just looking at the hats. Although he does seem to be wearing a sweater vest.
Yeah. Oh, fun fact, Jonathan actually played American football in college in the 1880s in Britain.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so now we go to part 2.
Oh. Okay. So, this he's a personal trainer, I think pretty obviously, and aerobics instructor. Let's see. He has the power of deltoids. And, I see his 8-pack there.
Yeah.
Let's see. His flaw is finding shirts that fit. They don't seem to be able to tuck anything in.
Yeah, why is this tank top so tiny?
Yep. Well, and it reminds me there's a verse in like 8 Mile in one of Eminem's rap duels where he comments, he says has a guy's shirt do part of the rapping and saying, I'm too small for you, yo. Or something like that. You know, my memory's bad as I'm elderly. He likes scarves and ties. So I'm going to guess, and he clearly shaves his armpits.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say he has the power of stunning when he strikes a pose. And it just makes other people go, what? And I'm going to guess from his love of long flowing accessories that maybe he has some power related to, telekinetically manipulating these or something and wrapping people up with them or flinging ties around.
That's not too far off.
Doing something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about the one here where he's dressed in drag.
Yeah.
I mean...
yeah, what do you think his name is?
Oh! Let's see. He sounds like the kind of he looks like the kind of person whose last name has to have a Y on it. So, like Billy or Tommy or Joey. Or I'm gonna say his name is Scotty.
Scotty. And what country is he from?
Oh, what country is he from? Well... he's Canadian.
Okay, so this guy is actually Joseph Joestar. In part 3, 50 years later, he turned to an old guy and became the oh no guy. Whoa. This is the same guy.
Okay.
As oh my god.
Okay. All right.
So, yeah, that's who he is. He also has the power to use the Ripple. And he later gained a stand, Hermit Purple, when he was an old guy. And that lets him make like thorny vines that can see the future. And he can punch a camera and he can see... Well, he can't see the future, but he can see like different places. He's clairvoyant, but he has to like punch a camera.
None of the things that you're saying seem connected to each other. It just seems like you're reading random note cards, you know, that you pulled out of your pocket or something. That, like there were things written on a deck of cards and they were randomly shuffled and then just dealt out.
Yeah. He also back when he was a young guy, he liked to he could always guess what people were going to say next. And he did that a lot to his villains, which were these guys I'm going to show you.
Okay.
They're 3 guys, but they all have kind of the same powers and deal, so they're on one slide.
Okay. Okay.
I hear you laughing. It sounds like you don't...
Well, these are male strippers. I'm going to guess that collectively they're called the Chippendales. I'm going to say their powers must involve, you know, like waxing and depilatory activities.
You know, honestly, they probably could do that if they wanted to.
Yep. And let's see, weaknesses, you know, like a lot of these characters, weaknesses would be, you know, head to body ratio somewhere similar to that of a dinosaur from the Jurassic period, you know, and not like a cool one, but more like a, you know, a Brontosaurus or some dinky version of that with the little pinhead. I'm noticing a trend here.
Sounds like you don't have respect for some of the dinosaurs.
No. I mean, you know, honestly, when some of them went extinct, nobody was really all that upset. I'm also just going to observe here that this is a commentary on art style. I don't know how to put this correctly. The proportions between like people's forearms and their lower legs, you know, compared to their upper legs. Most people have a little bit of a taper, you know, and I suppose there is, but I've seen professional rock climbers with like 2% body fat. I don't think you can actually have that many muscles in your forearm. Let's see.
Okay, by the way, the crouching guy is the guy over here with crossbow, and the guy with a hood is the guy with the hair.
Is he being launched from a crossbow?
Okay, figure out tell me what's happening here.
Okay.
Because it's exactly what it looks like, but...
Well, looks like one of two things happened. It looks like he either somehow transformed himself into a crossbow and gave himself a unicorn horn and is now shooting himself off of himself. Or one of his Chippendale buddies has decapitated him, which apparently is not really going to hurt him, and stuck him on this crossbow that they will then shoot. Although it looks like his hair may actually be helping cock the crossbow. I feel a little awkward saying the word cock after looking at these guys because it just feels a little extreme. The person in that top photo just looks like a woman's head was cut off and put on top of a kind of ludicrously shot. Okay, now see here on this shoulder.
Yeah.
Kids, if you're looking at home and you're interested in, like, you know, working out for physical fitness or things like that, that's not what a shoulder looks like. If you know, you take your supplements and do your, you know, pump your iron and do your heavy workouts and your high intensity stuff or your CrossFit or whatever, and your shoulder looks like that at the end, that's probably a tumor. Or some type of foreign growth, and you would want to, you know, remove that.
Yeah, and
probably.
Can you see what he's holding?
Well, it looks like he's holding a normally proportioned leg, but I'm going to say it's a boomerang.
It is, in fact, a leg.
It is a leg.
Yeah.
Is he going to throw his own leg at somebody?
Again, he could do that, but no. Okay. So these guys... So, like, what do you think these guys are like their personalities? Because obviously they're male strippers.
Right.
I agree with you there, but...
Well, this guy is clearly angry, this crossbow guy. He just has a lot of suppressed rage. This guy in the top left corner here is the strong, silent type who, instead of, most people would say, talk to the hand, he says, talk to the ass. And then, I think the guy on the right, he's the one who's most misunderstood. I'm going to guess that's the same person that is holding the leg.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that person, and they're holding up this little mask here, almost in kind of like an homage to Hamlet, Alas, Poor York. I knew him well, except in this case, York is a creepy-ass mask with a hole in it that suggests that maybe this guy can also do the unicorn horn thing. I don't know. That might go through. I'm going to say that guy on the right wants to be a fashion designer. But is being held back by his bros.
All right. So these are the Pillar Men. They are, you've heard these names and made fun of them too. Crouching guy is Wham. Guy on the top left is AC/DC. And guy on the right is Cars.
Okay. I think Rick Ocasek from the Cars might actually not mind, being depicted like that. AC/DC, though, that's about as far from like Angus Young or Bon Scott or anyone like that as I can possibly imagine. Once again, I feel like the creator here has never heard any of the music. That maybe he just flipped, and I'm going to say CDs because of when this stuff was written. Maybe he just flipped through some CD racks.
Yeah.
Maybe he belonged to like the Japanese equivalent of the Columbia Album of the Month Club, where they just sent you crap, whether you wanted it or not. And he sent everything back without actually listening to it because he just wanted to get that really sweet deal in the beginning part. But he took careful note. Also, it makes me, of all the band names, it also makes me wonder if there's some album art out there that I'm not familiar with. And maybe was inspiring some of this. Or if anyone knows about, AC/DC male stripper cover or something.
So the Pillar Men created vampires, and you put that stone mask on and you turn into a vampire. But they were so they were like a super race, and so the stone mask didn't work on them, so they had to put a stone in it that reflected sunlight, and then the power of the sunlight would let the mask work on them. But Cars was the only one who actually got to use it, because the others died. Joseph killed him. And each one of them can, mutate their body. They can, warp their skeletons. They can warp other people's bodies unless they have the ripple. So, he probably could have taken his leg off and used it as a boomerang, that sort of thing. And that's how they can grow the unicorn horn.
Right, which is obviously the secret weapon.
Yeah, the unicorn horn lets Wham actually, he blinded himself, and he turned himself to a blind unicorn, and the unicorn horn can let him feel where things are by the wind.
I'm pretty sure that's how unicorn horns work, yeah.
Yeah, that's little known fact about unicorns. That's what the horns are for. Okay, now let's get into part 3. So you've already seen this guy. This is Jojo, but I just want you to guess real quick. How old is he in the picture on the left, and how old is he in the picture on the right?
Well, in the picture on the left, he definitely looks younger to me. I'm going to say that in the picture on the left. Now, of course, this is just because, assuming the close-up of the face. I'm sure that this head is actually placed on the body of a steroid freak. With 24/7 access to a gym, but I'm going to say 16 on the left, and then how old on the right?
Yeah,
he's wearing a very similar hat,
but they are pretty different time periods.
Okay,
it has been a while,
so just fashion sense didn't evolve over time. Okay, I'm going to say 25.
All right, well, I got that cool star on his hat, Dad. Fashion sense different. Okay, so on the right, he's 17. I want you to look at me and figure that this guy's 17.
Okay.
And then, he's 17 or 18, actually. I can never remember his age, but on the left, he is 41. You're giving me the look.
So, is this manga actually, drawn by a human?
Well, he hasn't aged in like 30 years, so I think he thought maybe other people aged like he did.
So it's possible that he's like David Bowie in The Man Who Fell to Earth, and he's just a sort of androgynous-looking alien person who landed on Earth and decided to hide himself in plain sight by drawing this weird-ass... Yeah, I keep wanting to say comic, but I know the proper term is manga. Okay.
Okay, so now next character.
All right. Please tell me he's eating something in that bottom left.
Bottom what? Bottom right?
Bottom right, yeah. that is going into his mouth and not coming out of his mouth.
Okay, it is unfortunately his tongue, and he only does that once, which is good, but...
Well... are you familiar with the tapir, Will?
Oh, I'm familiar with the tapir.
That looks like a part of the tapir's anatomy. It's been transplanted. So I'm going to...
So you think he's like an animal hybrid, maybe?
I'm going to guess that his name is the tapir.
Yeah.
All right. So his name is the tapir. Is he... Oh, okay, he's holding on. For a second, it looked like he was pulling something out of his eyeball in that other picture.
He's not.
He's just holding something over his shoulder.
Yeah.
By a thin strap. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm not sure where he's wearing a corset. Because that's what that is, kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it must lace up the back, but that's pretty much what that is. For maximum comfort, you want something that comes like right up over the nipples and just right below the armpits, but leaves the rest of you unexposed, and then has a strap on it. That's, gladiator style, what they used to do. What are those things sticking out of his neck?
Which things?
These things
here.
here.
His earrings.
Oh, okay. Okay, those are hanging.
Yeah, from his ears.
Sure, all right.
Yeah, and, so what do you think the tapir is like? What's his personality?
I'm gonna say he's on the douchebag scale,
I mean, yeah, a little bit.
Let's see. I like how the big shiny,
yeah, that's his stand, the thing behind him.
Robot-looking thing behind him is mimicking his pose.
Yeah.
There. I'm gonna guess that he's Joe somebody.
Oh, you think he's a Jojo?
Yeah. He has sort of the jaw.
Yeah, he does.
This sort of squared off jaw like that. It's really unfortunate hair. I mean, if I hadn't seen the organ coming out of his mouth, I would have said he was called Blockhead, or perhaps Pillar Man, but that was already taken.
I always thought it looked like a chef's hat a little bit.
Made out of hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of does. Powers. So
because he has the stand. So what's the stand's power?
Oh, the stand's power. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to say the stand's power. Well, it's got a sword right there.
One second, I'm going to make sure it's still recording.
All right.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I'm going to say that the stand has the power of playing American football and fencing at the same time, and is highly reflective and so can blind enemies. And I'm going to say that this main guy's abilities, aside from anything associated with the tongue, which I think is probably not safe for work.
Kellerman would like it.
Yeah, I'm going to... Wow, I mean, he really... There's nothing really evocative about these pictures suggesting anything other than the fact that, he's pretty buff.
Yeah, what country do you think he's from?
Oh, he's German. Definitely got a German kind of guy vibe off of him.
Yeah, he's definitely German. Like, I know what countries he's from, and I know it's not it, but I don't care. He's German now. Like, it totally fits.
Yeah, like over here, he's in this top right when he's saying, "We're here to pump you up."
Yes!
You know, that's totally his pose.
Okay.
All right, so
this guy is Jean-Pierre Polnareff.
Okay.
He is French. Ho ho.
Yeah.
And yeah, he is kind of a jerk, but he's like a funny jerk. He's like a kind of childish jerk. And then he goes all emo in part 5, and that's sad, and he dies during a bad ending. But other than that, his stand is called Silver Chariot.
Okay.
This before they were named, back then they named the people after bands instead of the stands. And yeah, it's a fencer, and it's just really fast. It's just a really fast fencer, and it can take its armor off to get even faster, but it only does that once. So yeah.
And what is his name again?
Jean-Pierre Polnareff, and he goes with Jojo and the other guys to stop their villain.
Okay.
So yeah, now
okay, this guy kind of like doesn't understand what misogyny is. Which is interesting because it sort of looks like he's wearing a dress. Well, actually, what it looks like he's wearing jeans.
Yeah.
With chaps on the outside of the jeans and a completely superfluous loincloth.
Yeah. So what do you think he's like?
Well, he's shoving his fingers up someone else's nose, more or less, in that bottom.
Yeah, poor Polnareff.
He seems opinionated. He's carrying a gun, so I'm assuming he likes to shoot stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He has to be American because he looks like somebody's drug-fueled idea of a cowboy.
Yep.
Crossed with, I don't know, like the jock who bullies kids in high school.
That's so him, though.
And, yeah, there's not even a particularly believable cowboy hat. Something's a little off with that. Is this his hair, or is this supposed to be straps from the hat that are just hanging down?
It's straps from the hat, I think.
So
yeah, so
the idea, kids, when you have a hat that has a strap on it, the strap is supposed to stay attached to itself, to form a loop, because the whole point is so it doesn't fly off your head. If you cut that and just let them flap around, it looks like, you've got rat tails growing out of the side of your head. Not very efficient. I'm going to ask, are there any body types that we're going to see that are not like either grotesquely fat, which I'm guessing is an option, or just jacked beyond belief?
You say that right before we get to part 4.
Okay.
And anyone watching this video, you know what that means. But yeah, so what do you think his stand is?
He has a stand, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. I think his stand must be something like, he's able to just have a point of view completely unmoved by facts or, outside evidence.
What's it called?
Is this when they're named after bands again?
Yeah.
I don't know. Given how this guy kind of zigs, this career, and I think he should zag on, I'm trying to think, maybe something like Weston Girls by the Pet Shop Boys, since he might think that has a Old West theme, even though
and he has girlfriends everywhere.
Yeah.
All right, so this guy's name is Whole Horse.
Whole Horse.
HOL. Alternately called by the fans the entire horse, the complete horse, the
Right.
Yeah, so his stand is the Emperor. It's his gun, and basically he just shoots bullets, but he can direct them with his mind.
That's handy.
And so he knows he's not that strong, so he always teams up with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sticking his fingers up Polnareff's nose because the guy he's talking to in the manga panel, Boingo, one of the Oingo Boingo brothers, told him he can see the future. So he told him that if he did that, then everything would go great for him. And it almost did. He almost killed the whole gang, but then he got shot instead.
And he's a bad guy?
Yeah, he works for Dio. And Polnareff, with the tongue scene, was actually pointing his tongue at Whole Horse. He was holding him at gunpoint behind a corner. So Polnareff's trying to tell the other guys he was there. So, yeah. All right. So, I think we're definitely past halfway point now, I think. So, yeah, this is...
Pointy Shoe Man? He's shiny.
Yes. Ever seen someone so shiny?
He has long nails in one of these.
Oh, yeah, he does. I never noticed that.
Is this the same guy up here in the top?
That's his stand.
That's his stand. Okay.
Both wearing the same stupid outfit.
Yeah, so his stand needs to be named after a band or something, right?
Yeah, what do you think it is?
Yellow. Oh, yeah. Bow, bow. Oh,
you know, that works. That absolutely works.
I do notice he's got little hearts.
Yeah.
Little hearts on his knees, and is that one on his crotch? That's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's obviously wearing a padded codpiece, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yep.
Yeah, so what do you think he's like?
Well, he has to be an asshole. There's no way he stands around thrusting his junk out like that, wearing pointy shoes, pointy boots, and those kind of pantaloons and everything baggy like that.
Oh, believe me, you are right.
I mean, he looks like he might be a good dancer. Now, down in the bottom area, he's either, exploding with fire, or electricity, or
sexual energy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So I'll guess that his name is Libido. His power is overcompensating. Also, he belongs to the 6-pack club.
Yeah.
Here, maybe the 8-pack. It's I guess being infused with magical power is good.
What country is he from?
Oh, what country is this guy from?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. See, I would have said France if he hadn't already gone with.
Yeah, he is the kind of guy that would come out of France.
Very such. And Italy's also been taken too. Those were my top.
He's also he's totally the kind of guy who would come out of Italy.
So I'm going to say, just because, and I might be getting this wrong, I think I've seen their soccer team. With so I'm going to say Sweden because of the neon yellow soccer team jersey colors.
Yeah.
And he's blonde. Nothing against Swedish people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my guess.
Okay, so this is Dio.
Okay.
This is the man himself. He actually first showed up back in part 1.
Mm-hmm.
He was an orphan who got adopted by the Joestar family, but he decided he wanted all the fortune for himself. So he tried to ruin Jonathan and poison his dad. And he found a stone mask that Jonathan was studying, and he turned into a vampire. Eventually, Jonathan and Zeppeli from before and Speedwagon, they beat him. So 100 years later, it turns out that he lost everything but his head, but he put his head on Jonathan's body, and now he also has a stand, the world. And now he's back, and he can stop time. So Jotaro has to beat him once and for all. And yeah, he is a complete douchebag. Like, that is literally his only character trait. Until, part 6, 300 chapters later, when they decide to make him a well-rounded human being.
Wow. And so, in this image that I'm seeing here, he has the power to stop time?
Yeah, all of them. These are all part 3.
Okay, so
this is actually him about to do it with Super Saiyan aura.
So that's temporal energy that's flowing around him.
Or just stand energy, whatever you want to call it.
Any reason behind the heart motif? All the little hearts?
I'm going to get back to you on that. Okay, so we're now getting into the last 2 parts.
Okay.
Yeah, part 4, this guy.
All right, that's Princess Sparkle Pants.
Princess Sparkle Pants, what's his stand called?
Oh, I think I was looking at the stand when I said that. Okay, so the
stand is Princess Sparkle Pants. What's...
Right. And is this... He's got to be named after... Okay. I'm going to say He's named after a Rod Stewart classic, Do You Think I'm Sexy? People just call him sexy. He's obviously a juggler, based on that comment in the thing down there. Good at ball handling. The other possibilities I would have said, if that hadn't already been taken, I would have said AC/DC. Shout out to Big Balls. Is this all right? She's got balls.
Okay, so here's a fun fact. AC/DC has the power of heat. And
not electricity?
Yeah, and the stand in part 4, there's a stand that has the power of electricity, and it's called Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they really should have switched names.
Yeah. Okay. That's true.
Yeah. So, like, what country is he from?
Wow. Japan.
You are correct. Yeah.
And, the stand's real name is what?
Okay, so what do you think Princess Sparklepants can do?
Disco laser show.
All right, and what do you
think?
Maybe
holograms.
And what do you think Sexy is like as a person?
Well, surprisingly, I mean, all these people are coming across as overconfident, and I mean, this is basically like a primer or a guide to power posing.
Yeah, basically.
So do this before you have a big presentation or a meeting.
Yeah.
Just make sure you do it in an unoccupied restroom or in a supply closet, so nobody actually sees you doing it before. But I'm going to say, I don't want to just keep going back to the well on this. I see there's a peace symbol on there.
Yeah.
This person is like the vegan who doesn't says that they understand. This is the vegan who says they understand why some people feel the need to eat meat, and they don't really look down on you because everybody's doing the best that they can, but secretly they are judging the hell out of you for not being as altruistic and noble as they are. So I'm going to say kind of self-righteous in that sense.
Oh, come on. My sister's not that bad.
Your sister is not particularly judgy at all about any of that. So,
okay, so his real name is Josuke Higashikata.
Mm-hmm.
He's Joseph's. Okay, so Joseph was married for like 45 years, and then he went to Japan and had a fling with some Japanese woman like 30, 40 years younger than him, and they produced Josuke. And he didn't know until Josuke was the way we see him now. He's 15.
Okay.
And you called him sexy. So...
he's got a beard.
Yeah, so stand is Crazy Diamond, and it can punch things. It's super strong, and also it can repair things. It can sort of rearrange molecules, but he doesn't do much with that. Like, he can punch a wall and it'll come back together, or he can punch someone and it'll heal them.
Healing through punching. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's so anime. But yeah, so what do you think of his hair?
That's how I work on the car and the dishwasher and things like that. Healing through punching. What do I think of his hair?
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a beaver tail was cut off and dyed, to a particular sort of purpley shade, and then glued to his head. But it's kind of a spectacular pompadour, I suppose.
Well, I don't want to get punched by Crazy Diamond, so I think his hair is awesome. I think we got 4 more guys left, including this dude.
Oh, wow. Somebody actually made a figure. So that's a puppet. Good lord.
Okay, so
that's a headband with hair above it.
Yeah, I've never quite been able to tell if I think that's a headband, but it's anime, who knows?
He's either eating an olive or licking an eyeball.
It's not the second one, but it's just as gross.
Okay, it's a testicle? Been removed?
Now, everybody in the series does that.
Okay. Well, So this person is a backup dancer from the 1980s, probably for Janet Jackson, and or Madonna. I'm gonna say that they go by interesting kind of Joker themed colors there with the green and purple.
Yeah.
Also holding some either pencils or paintbrushes in a very aggressive fashion. I'm still gonna go with backup dancer. That must be the Stan up there. That looks like a tiny evil Orville Redenbacher kind of. Or maybe a wannabe Mr. Mixel Spitlick. So I'm gonna say, oh wait, and this person has a camera. Oh wait a minute. Are those calligraphy pins shoved in his front of his pants, or is that supposed to be a belt? So this person's power has something to do with art.
Oh God, he's doing the saggy pants thing before it was cool. I never even realized that.
Yeah.
I will never look at him the same way again.
Okay, this person with the camera and the art stuff, this person has some sort of ability relating to artistic expression. So I'm going to guess that they have the ability to either draw or take photographs of things and animate those things that they have taken a picture of, or maybe photograph something and suck it into the camera. And the person's name is going to be Photograph by Def Leppard.
Oh, okay.
Either Photograph by Def Leppard or Centerfold by the J. Giles Band. And the Stan is just a creepy little puppet looking dude. Anyway, yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, so his name is Rohan Kishibe. He's a manga artist. His power is that anyone who looks at his art, he can use his stand Heaven's Door to read their memories and edit their memories. And he's a total jerk. He's super rich, but he eventually does do the right thing. He's looking a spider in this shot because he wants to experience reality to inspire him for his manga.
Oh, it's the butt end of a spider.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
The abdomen, excuse me.
You know, like I said, he probably also licks testicles, but we never see that. Probably just does that in his downtime.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are going to finish up here with part 5 characters.
Okay.
Then that'll be it.
All right.
You will be free from...
Wow. Okay. Wow. I'm really surprised I haven't seen more of these costumes at the Pride Parade.
I was about to make a joke about the Pride Parade. Part 5, honestly, like...
Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying,
I think part 5 is just a Pride Parade. Like, they never say it, but... the whole thing's just... Like, the whole thing's just like a pretend plot at, like, some Pride Parade that's going all throughout whatever country they're from. And it's just really in-depth performance. I think that's what it actually is. That's my theory. So... So what country is he from?
Oh, this is a dude. All right.
Yes, it's a dude.
Okay. Gosh, what is left? There's a lot of blonde people here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this one...
They can be from the same country as people. We've said already.
Those are ladybugs.
Yeah.
Okay. France. I'm just going to go France. And... the Stan... It's kind of a cool looking design for the Stan.
Let's say, so this guy is not named after a band. None of the guys after this are, but their stands are all named after bands.
Okay.
Or albums.
Well, his name is Mr. Ladybug.
Mr. Ladybug.
I just have to hope that some type of energy projection or something comes out of those cannon bangs or whatever that in the front of the head. Or you just left the hair rollers in?
Yeah. I am really disappointed that nothing comes out of those. Like, legit would have made Part 5 better.
In My Hero Academia, something would totally come out of those.
Yes. Yes, it would.
You might not want to see it, but something would. I genuinely just have no idea. This does not look like a person with powers or anything. I do sort of appreciate that they're not, completely over muscled.
He has the power to look fabulous.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guide to JoJo art is that everyone up until part 3 is on steroids, and everyone after that is fabulous.
Okay.
Do you want to know anything about the guy licking him?
That's a guy?
Yes.
No.
He makes zippers.
Okay. There's nothing. Zippers are a handy invention.
Yeah.
They're useful.
Yeah.
As someone who got tricked into wearing button-fly jeans back in the day with Levi's 501s, I can say the zipper is a market improvement. Market improvement. Some type of insect powers relating to the ladybug? I mean...
a little bit. Must
be a nice person. Ladybugs are delightful creatures that, do much good in the world. The Stan's name is Rock Lobster from the B-52s. And the Stan's power is... I'm not guessing these powers are...
Yeah, so what's his name?
Rock Lobster.
The guy.
The guy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you said Mr. Ladybug.
Mr. Ladybug.
Okay, so this guy is Giorno Giovanna. He's Dio's son. He's Italian. He wants to become a quote-unquote gang star. And that pose on the left is the pose he does when he talks about his dreams. And so he has the power to punch inanimate objects and turn them into animals.
Huh.
It's the weirdest JoJo. Also, he had the stand in the bottom right is so his regular stand on the top left is gold experience, and so then he gets power boost, and on the bottom right there's gold experience requiem, which is stupidly OP and can beat anybody in JoJo. He can basically just say, that thing you did, no, you didn't actually do that. And then he can...
Like rewind time?
Well, more like make it so that something never happened. It's kind of like rewinding time, but...
So a living retcon.
Yeah. And it's just really overpowered, and the series ended right after that. And yeah, the guy licking him is his boss.
That's inappropriate workplace behavior.
I think the Passion gang has a casting couch. I think that's how you get in. But yeah, that is Bruno Bucciolati. He has the power to make zippers. And I just want to point out that Giorno is 15, Bruno is 20. I think he could go to jail for that. I'm not sure, but...
Yeah, I don't know what the laws in Italy are.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one more after this?
There's two more.
Okay.
I know.
I think I can handle it.
Yeah. I just tried to pick just enough. Yeah. You're laughing, huh? You see why I said part 5 is just a pride parade? These are the other people. These are his friends on the bottom right.
Okay.
They're torturing the guy. That's how they do it.
And I want to reiterate the fact that
there's nothing wrong with that.
I attend the Pride Parade in our town every year, and it's a delightful experience and a chance for people to express themselves freely.
Yes.
I do reserve the right to occasionally think some people's self-expression is a little out there or a little funny, but I don't need to judge their character by that. They're entitled to it. But this person is sending mixed signals because really, carrying the gun and dressing like that and posing like that is just going to confuse whoever you're trying to intimidate and stick up.
What do you think it looks like? Like, try to describe his outfit.
Huh. Well, all right. I feel really horrible for even suggesting this, but...
Suggest it.
It looks like a basketball net. And then a basketball got sort of peeled off and stuck on his head. But the person who did that didn't really know what a basketball looks like. They just knew the colors. And then they put an arrow on it so that you know to look at his face. And it's sort of a bare midriff style, which seems just really vastly more popular in the Jojo universe than I've seen in regular life.
Yeah.
This person clearly is a backup dancer. You know, I mean, there's an actual picture of it there. So, also, you know, one of these is not a way that you hold a gun, and the other one is sort of closer, maybe, to a way that you hold a gun. That's interesting.
Yeah, you watch a lot of shows about like hitmen and stuff. How do you think this guy would do?
Well, missed out on the idea of being inconspicuous and stealthy. Can't really imagine the Samuel L. Jackson speech coming from this character, you know. I'm distressed by the fact that this person used the word b-ballers. That phrase? So I've played basketball for 35 years, and I really don't think that person should be saying anything bad. They don't look like.
But he's got a basketball head.
Yeah. And is that a stand here?
Yeah, he has stands in the bottom left.
Okay.
So what do you think he's called?
Crisscross?
Okay, what do you think? So Crisscross is a backup dancer. Like, what's his personality?
Flamboyant but misunderstood?
A lot of these guys are flamboyant but misunderstood, but honestly, that is kind of him. Yeah, so this guy, the new avatar is Guido Mista. His stand is the Sex Pistols.
Okay.
And they basically guide his bullets around. It's literally just Emperor, but the stands can talk about ice. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the bottom right is he's doing the torture dance. He's torturing a prisoner along with the other guys by making them watch his dance.
See, to me, the very concept of that just sort of implies low self-esteem. Because you're really kind of judging yourself.
Yeah.
Implication there by that.
All right. So, what do you say we move on to the very last character?
Yes, I'm good with that. I'm a little overloaded with the art and stuff.
Well, I think this is a good stopping point. So, these are actually two split personalities of the same guy. The guy on the left is one personality, and the guy on the right is another.
Okay.
That's a stand on the top right.
Oh.
This is on the top left. You can see him calling someone on an ice cream cone, as you do.
Okay.
So, what country are these two from?
We haven't had Canada yet. I feel like it's...
Yeah, but is this really Canada?
I don't really know what magenta or purple goes with. I mean... No, I got nothing. Brazil,
okay. So
that's not purple's not Brazilian.
Yeah.
And that stand seems pretty evil.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess this person's name is Emo.
What about his name when he's on the left?
Right.
No left.
And I'm gonna say, oh goodness. And the stand's name is Relax. Right, Frankie Goes to Hollywood.
Oh yeah, because he's got his everlasting climax.
Exactly. Don't do it. I'm gonna come. Yep. So I'll say the character's name is Frankie or Francine. Maybe swinging back and forth. I don't know. And
super.
Yeah, and has the power of schizophrenia on the left, and the power of whatever the stand can do.
Yeah, what do you think the stand Relax can do?
Control people's minds and turn them into zombies. And Yeah. Okay, so who is this person?
Okay, so he is the leader of the gang that Giorno's trying to take down. His name on the left is Doppio. His name on the right is Diavolo. And yeah, so his stand, King Crimson, can skip time, and it's really confusing. And he can also kind of see the future, but only when he skips time, and he can punch holes in people. And Diavolo, when he needs to talk to Doppio, he calls him from inside his head, and Doppio just answers with whatever object he finds lying around. And yeah, he's a drug dealer.
Okay.
And he has a daughter, and he really doesn't want his daughter knowing who he is. He's really big on no one knowing what his name is.
So this one on the right is in the head of the person on the left? This is like a psychic manifestation?
Yeah.
Except for the stand thing, which is a real... But the stand works for the one on the personality on the right.
Yeah.
Not the one on the left.
Yeah. Because, like, the guy on the left is the original, but the guy on the right is the dominant personality, so it's kind of interesting. And, yeah, that is about it. So, what do you think of JoJo characters overall? What do you think of this series?
Wow. I think it... How long has this series lasted?
Like, 30 years? A little more?
Well, I don't think it would have lasted that long in the United States. I think it had been a comic. There are certain periods where it would have maybe taken off for a little bit.
Yeah.
I think, if I'm being honest, that it's kind of interesting. It's similar to... Well, when Alan Moore deconstructed comics with the Watchmen in the 80s, one of the things he did was kind of focus a little bit on the kind of psychosexual aspects of how they were presented and the costumes and everything, which now seems really obvious and was kind of obvious back then, but it had rarely been addressed by people who weren't just disparaging comics when they were making those points. So I think it's interesting that he essentially the creator chose to highlight these really obvious aspects in the designs that he created, the character designs. As far as the personalities go, it feels a little repetitive to me. But maybe that's just some of the bad guys, and who knows?
And I did try to pick kind of the weirder looking characters, just because there's like a million characters, and I had to narrow it down.
I was just thinking in terms of the personalities that they seem to have, a lot of kind of flamboyantly jerkish
there
people.
are a lot of...
Maybe that's not that different from, more standard Western comics, though. So I wouldn't say that the art style is to my taste. And it does seem pretty gonzo to me in general. But it was interesting. There's definitely room for stuff like that, right? And it's obviously been pretty successful and influenced a lot of people.
So yeah, I think that's going to be just about it. Thanks for doing this.
Yeah. And every one of those drawings was better than anything Rob Liefeld has ever done. So,
of course.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to see you guys whenever I make a video again. So yeah, bye.